Today we're here with four supreme women in the local entertainment industry. And with us we have four of ETV's leading ladies, Masasa Mangeni, Charlene Sipitiches, Natasha Sutherland, and Tembi Siete. Welcome, ladies. We are
Thank
so
you.
happy to have
We're
you
happy
here.
to be here.
You
Thank
look
you for inviting.
absolutely gorgeous.
Thank
Absolutely
you.
gorgeous.
We wake up like this.
You wake
No,
up like
You
this.
look beautiful
not
too.
ever.
And we're really excited to have you with us at the Channel 24 studios today. So today we're going to be talking a bit more about ETV's latest campaign, Supreme Women, celebrating women in the industry and women from all spheres of life.
Yeah.
And I think that's how we're so lucky today to have these four award-winning, highly acclaimed, highly successful actresses with us today. Yeah, so beautiful, absolutely stunning ladies in the industry. So I think to start off, let's start with Tembi. What do you think, or what does being a supreme woman mean to you?
Oh man, what it means to me is waking up every single day and doing what you love the most, and just being independent. And whatever little thing you get or the reward that you get, you celebrate it because you've worked hard for it.
Yeah.
I'm big on independence. I'm big on working hard. I'm big on really pushing yourself to the limit. And I don't say no to everything. I try out everything. And when I say I can't, at least I've been there and I knew how it felt, or I know how it felt. So being a supreme woman is getting in there and dive in and do as much as you can and feel get out of feeling proud that at least I've tried and I did my best. Yeah.
And Ms. Sasa, do you have anything to add?
I think, just picking up with what Tembi's saying about being your best,
Yeah.
For me it's just showing up. I mean, we were talking
Showing
about
up,
earlier,
being present.
just being authentic.
Yeah.
And when asked the sort of question, what is a supreme woman, it's such an epic thing because it's such a big word. It conjures up this idea of like, I move mountains and birth humans at the same time. And so I think the biggest thing about just drawing on what Tembi was saying is just being authentic, showing up as truthfully and as honestly as I possibly can. And sometimes being supreme means being honest that maybe today I'm not having a sexy day and I don't want to take a selfie and I want to sit at home and watch reruns of Grey's and eat pizza. And that's self-care.
Yeah.
And that is supreme woman to me. Being able to take care of yourself, having boundaries,
You time
being
and
authentic.
being okay with your own company.
Yeah.
Making your own decisions about stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, easier said than done though sometimes.
Yeah.
I have a bit of a problem with the supreme thingy. I would never call myself a supreme woman, but like you said, I've got a lot to add on to what you're saying. It's making decisions and being independent, especially
Absolutely.
being disciplined enough
Yeah.
to do your job and do it well.
Yeah.
And irrespective of if you have a family set up at home, lucky people that have kids, I don't, I have dogs and I have to take care of them too. But what I'm saying is be there and do your job and be disciplined. And I would refer to myself as an award-winning, very hard-working person. Honestly, we work very, very hard to sit here and look beautiful. We work like slaves.
And Charlene, you've been in the industry for a while. How
30 years. To put
Yeah,
it
well,
together.
it's like, girl, come
Well
on, can we not
done.
say a
I
while?
think that candidate deserves a round of applause.
Go, Charlene!
How do you feel has being a woman in the industry changed from 30 years ago and now?
Well, now, first I never had choices. I had to do what I was told. Now I have choices. I do what I want
You
to.
have a voice.
And I make the choices now. It's not a matter of sitting back and waiting for other people to decide about my future. I make those decisions now, and that has changed for me.
And And Natasha, I remember you from Kidio days.
Who doesn't?
I still remember me as the kid who spoke to a donkey for a living. Some people have greatness thrust upon them.
How has the industry changed for you since starting out and where you are now?
Well, I took a mommy gap, so I didn't sort of have the role on longevity that Charlene had. But I'm viewing this whole supreme woman in a completely different light. I think that sometimes there's such an effort for us to empower women, and women must empower themselves. We have this sort of stigma that we need to go out in the world and do. And I see sometimes women are so defeated by the doing that I think the biggest thing is just for us to own our own stories.
Yeah.
So I would love to come up with profound information and give it to you about how my role as a woman has changed in industry. All I can say was I had a lot of work, I enjoyed it, and then I had kids, and now coming back into the arena as a single working mom has sort of tipped the scales and changed my whole attitude. You know, we were saying what drives you to take the role that you took. Well, it's the paycheck. And I'm supporting my kids, and I wish I could give these pearls of wisdom, you know, to try and inspire women out there to empower themselves. Basically, it's like Masai says, you show up every day and do what you have to do.
And that's inspirational. Hearing you say that is important. People need to hear that. People need to stop hearing that, oh, and I had to turn down this role, and I had to go with South Africa, babe. What role are you turning down? When?
It's a different context, and it's not that we're bemoaning. We're all doing what we love,
Absolutely.
but it comes with all sorts of other things. For me, it's balancing that with raising two teenage boys, you know, and doing the best, and knowing that I will fall down, but I'll pick myself up again. And I think the biggest thing as well is sharing being honest enough to share our stories with everybody else.
And Masasa, you spoke about, you know, the roles and things. What are some of the challenges that you still face today?
Sure, what are some of the challenges that I still face today? I'm repeating it so that trying to get food, eating and fitting into costume, that's really hard. I think for me, the biggest challenge that I'm facing generally as a woman, and even thinking of this concept of and I'm going to sound like a stuck record, but it's just being authentic, showing up honestly for my life. And being able to say, you know what, I actually don't have a perfect cookie cutter answer for what are the challenges I'm facing. I'm enjoying life. And I feel sometimes, you know, as actors, we have to go, but you had such a challenging road. And life is good. And it's okay for people to hear that. It's okay for people to hear that the narrative of an actor doesn't always have to be, and then I didn't eat and I didn't starve and I was tortured. No, it's been good. Life has been good to me. And that's how you inspire other people, by knowing that we all have different paths to take. There's several roads to Mecca, but we get to where we need to be. So trust your journey. So I don't want to say the challenges that I'm facing, because then you never see the goodness of life, because you're constantly looking at it.
Focusing on that.
You're so right with that, because also having to, I started in the industry at a very, very early age, and obviously you go through a lot of challenges, and it's only making sense now that why I had to go through all of that.
Oh, absolutely.
It shapes you. It's like when most of us were raised by single parents, right? And you have this mom that's just very strict with you and also disciplining and all. You know how our black parents, how we were raised. But then when you're young, you don't understand why you're so hard, why you're so
You don't want me to be great.
You don't understand. I'm living my life. Leave me alone. But when you're older, you kind of like understand that this woman was actually showing me the ropes and the ways and all these challenges that I went through when I was younger, and not being able to really control it, or to I don't know, it was really challenging, because you know, when you start up young, you don't know what is fame, you don't know money, you don't know what it comes with, you don't know press, you don't know criticism, you don't know what's good and what's good enough, what you're not, you know, you're trying to find yourself, and as you grow older, you realize that I had to go through all those steps.
And you realize that Mama was right.
Absolutely.
Those are the supreme women, actually. Mom is right. Your mothers know the truth.
I think what Masai said as well, going with what you say, is to trust your journey.
Trust your journey.
Especially as an essence of a woman.
That's actually my favorite saying.
We're born fighters and survivors and that sort of thing, and to actually sometimes just let go and trust and have faith.
Let go.
I think is a very powerful tool in trying to become supreme. That's where we're going.
Sorry, my dad always said to me, you work for your name first. Worry about money later. I did exactly that.
I went through,
and I'm so happy.
I can relate. I can so relate.
Oh, I tell you, it's a story.
Should I say it?
Yes. Because all of us turned and looked at you.
You know what? My story is from my real life story.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Timby,
So from the Boom Shaka, the group, and came to a point where we had to just split, and you grow apart. Even siblings grow apart, and you have to find your way and be independent and see what life has for you, what in stores for you. And I had to fight to just have Tembi Siete alone without Boom Shaka telling me. And it was hard work. It felt like I was starting all over again. And yes, I was starting all over again, because when in a group, you depend on each other. You know, Lebo will handle this, Junior will handle that. Theo, I would just have to handle that little bits part. But then when you're on your own, you handle everything that was
Yes.
handled by four people.
Yeah.
And it's just so annoying sometimes when you just, your identity, I had to fight for it.
Yeah.
I had to fight to just be Tembi, Siete, and it ends there.
Exactly.
It's hard work.
Yeah.
But look at you.
So your
Look
dad,
at you,
so your dad is,
yeah.
yeah.
So right, yeah.
Then taking it back again to the characters that you play on TV. I mean, we have Harvest, Broken Vows, Scandal, Rhythm City in the house, Music City in the house. Let's talk a bit more about. I know that you're very well known for Tembeka and Scandal, and are you and then Natasha as well. You guys play these really strong, almost villainous characters.
that word.
And you guys are so close. Yeah.
What do you guys think about the stigma attached to that? A woman has to be seen as a villain or a bad guy in order to be seen as being strong.
I don't agree with it.
I also completely don't agree. And Tash and I had this conversation earlier at lunch. It's like we knew what you were going to ask us. Because for me, a very dear friend of mine, Sbulicele Chan, who's an actor, it was when I just started with Scandal and this character was coming up and, you know, people were like, "Ooh, Tembek." I'm just like, "Oh, wow, okay, so this is real." And I used to say to her, "Oh, I'm struggling with this character because everyone thinks she's a baddie, but I don't think she is." And she said to me, "Masasa, your job as an actor is to love your character unconditionally. As a parent loves their child, it's unconditional. Ideally, you hope that it's unconditional, that, you know, you could have the face only a mother could love. Sayings like that come because it comes from a truthful, deep, loving place. My job in playing that character for the 5 years that I was blessed to play her for was I wasn't operating from a place of, oh, I'm now going to go, I mean, Tash did this beautiful analogy of, I'm going to have breakfast and then, oh, maybe I'll go murder someone and then quickly have a spot of tea.
The average person doesn't wake up saying, oh, I'm going to go damage someone.
Yeah.
So we don't have the right to take our characters and make them two-dimensional like that.
Yes.
And it's something I learned from Masas, acting opposite her, was how much she rooted Tembeka in very real, damaged, wounded parts, making choices from a wounded part, which I think, you know, we all fall into that trap. But she was never this two-dimensional, villainous sort of person who's out there.
Because no one exists like that.
Yeah.
And isn't drama a slice of life? We're trying to,
You
as much
draw
as we
from
can, to
real
replicate
life,
from life.
yes.
And no one lives like that. No one goes, unless you're a sociopath, but no one lives in this, you know, myopic way of thinking. And people are layered. They're like onions, you know. You think you know this, you think this person's 11, and you find out this person skins kittens. You know, people are layered. And so to play characters from I'm villainous, I mean, I think if anything, I've been inspired by the strong women in my life and perhaps drawn that from to play and feed Celia and feed the Tembekas is coming from a place of the women that I grew up being raised around, women who handled stuff, women who, we've got kids, like I have such a deep love and respect for working moms. Like I respect people like Natasha who are, you have to raise kids and you have to work and you have to be an actor and most of the time you're crazy but you still have to be normal for these kids. Like but like just
But what do you do to because we spend hours and hours playing these characters, these crazy people, and just to get out of that character and go back home and smile and feel. How do you guys do it?
I've learned to leave them in the studio.
yes.
Yeah, I know.
Even
But
then you walk out there all by yourself, you pick them up again.
the exhaustion, come
I know,
on.
I
It's,
know.
it
I think
just
there's
takes so
rituals that
much.
one
What-
can do. And Tash and I were chatting, particularly when I was playing Celia. She had red nail polish and red lips, and part of finishing and leaving her, as you said, was wiping off that makeup and reminding, and something as simple as a ritual of every day after the end of the day of shooting 12 hours, you wipe off the makeup, you wipe off the nails, because you remind yourself, I'm me, I'm not this character. I remember a partner once said to me, I don't know who I'm dealing with right now, is it Tembeka or Masas? And as I thought, you're right.
I know sometimes it's so funny. Sorry.
It's okay, babe.
With my kids, I was like, listen, I'm going to be late. Tonight we're shooting late. I'm getting chloroformed and drugged and tossed in the back of the boot. And my kids are so used to my job by now. They're like, oh, okay.
That's what my mom does.
Masasa, like on that topic, I think earlier this week you opened up I think you said you were on the verge of dancing
With insanity, yeah.
That is what you said.
Yeah.
Like tapping into that role.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
difficult is it actually to go into that deep space?
Our
to go
work
into
is
that
not
intense-
normal. It's not normal work. And I think once you understand that it's not normal, then you can find a joy in that. But again, I was chatting we chat a lot, as I'm sure you guys have figured out by now. I was chatting to Tasha about it, and the biggest lesson I learned about playing this character, and Natasha, put it so beautifully, is just learning boundaries. That you can play these characters and you can go to these places, but it's okay to also know when to come back to yourself and to go, okay, I don't have to go there because it actually causes me harm. And I don't think it's the intention of any writer or director to take you to the deep spaces. It's just that as actors, you are empaths, and you sometimes struggle to go, I don't have to feel all the world's angst. So it was tough, but I'm grateful for it. Celia, for me, was a character that really did push me to the edge, but also she showed me what I can do. Now I know. Now I never have to go back to that place again because I know I've been there, I've done that, and the next time it's required of me, I'll have safety mechanisms to keep myself safe. Because safety in this industry is women, and by that I mean not just safety in terms of character, but safety on sets. Something as simple as, if you're going to have to do a scene with nudity, has it been discussed with you? Is the set closed? A lot of young actors don't know this, and
that you have the right to ask.
it's absolutely you're right.
And that is a bigger metaphor for women in life. We have the right to ask questions to protect ourselves.
You have the right to safety. You have the right to be in a workspace that is conducive to creativity and healing, and is not something that, when someone's like, okay, no, drop that towel a little bit low, and you're like, this feels creepy, this feels wrong. If the biggest take, people need to,
a lot of young girls, they so want to be part. We're talking about it earlier, that it looks so easy, so glamorous, so inviting, so. They don't know the work that you have to put in. They don't know that this space is not for babies. It's not for kids. And expecting a lot as well, and the rights as well.
Yes.
What you just mentioned now, a lot of young girls do not know.
Yeah.
They will do
that,
whatever it takes to be part of this
when
world.
I was young and sort of younger than I am now, this is a long time ago, I had that. Rocking up to work and having a director come and say, sorry, we've completely changed the scene. You're no longer going to die from a gunshot. You're going to be drowned in a bath and you'll be naked. And they hit that with me on the day of the scene.
And you just have to play it right there, right now.
I don't want to rock the boat. And you go ahead and do something.
You don't want to lose your job. Also, you don't know your rights.
So
And in situations like that, you need to walk away, and that is why it's important for people like SWIFT, which is Sisters Working in Film and Television, organizations like that. It's big in Johannesburg, and I think they've also got a branch here in Cape Town. Institutes like Saga, people who work to protect the rights of humans, of actors in the industry, but particularly female actors in this industry. Because as a young woman, you don't know that you have the right to say no to that. First of all, it's not safe.
We're scared to lose our jobs.
No, shame.
Do you know what I mean? But when you're young soul, you have nothing, no experience, you will do whatever it takes, and that's what's important.
Which why this forum is important. And where we
So thank you,
Thank you.
Channel 24, for doing that.
I'm really flattered. I mean, to be surrounded by such powerful women, I mean, it's almost overwhelming, especially to be listening to the stories that you are telling, and young girls that are listening. I think it's such an important story that needs to be told. And I'm so grateful that the four of you are here today. It was.
We're grateful to you. It's amazing. Thank you.
Charlene, I wanted to ask you, what has been some of the best advice that you've gotten from a female in the industry? We've not spoken about, know your rights and things.
Very little, but anyway. When you get to my age, people don't give each other advice.
They don't talk to each other.
Talk to each other. No, but honesty is one of the most important things in my work and in my life. I believe, and I've learned this going along, that the more honest you are in portraying a part, the better you cope with it. Then you don't find it difficult if you must cry, or that if the tears come, it's there because you're portraying your part honestly. You don't, and it's not necessary to present tears. That's not what I'm saying. But I try to play all my characters very, very honest. And I've learned this from Christine Besson. The two of us, remember
Yes,
Christine
Egoli.
from Egoli.
From your personal experience. experience? Do you borrow?
No, I don't. I don't go there. I take the
I
part as
completely
is.
agree with Charlene.
You
It's
take
so
the part for what?
dangerous.
It's very dangerous to go into your personal
Yes.
life
Okay.
because there's this thin line between reality and acting. So if
And
you
your
draw
mind doesn't know.
and if you go into your personal life, you might start enjoying being emotional
And
start
traumatized.
feeling sorry for yourself. You lose your viewer like that.
Yes. Also,
The
it's
more
quite
you get into
self-indulgent,
this-
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, I find it a bit self-indulgent to draw from your life
Don't
because
go that way.
the
Yeah.
joy of acting is the magic if.
Yeah.
If I was in the situation, the excitement of it
That's
is.
it.
Do you guys create like backstories that
Oh,
you put like a slide, like
absolutely.
slideshows for your characters to trigger
Yeah.
stuff? Or
That's the excitement of creating the
Yeah.
work, though, isn't it? Sorry, I completely hijacked it.
No, I don't mind,
Yeah.
darling, because you're not talking nonsense, you're
Yeah.
talking
because you
sense.
didn't have to.
Speed me and I'll shut up.
No, you're speaking a lot of sense. It's the truth. It's the
Yeah.
truth. And I don't. I love personal experiences. I can listen to you and I'll admire you and I'll listen to your advice, but I like to experience things myself. I learn better that way if I learn from myself and stuff that I've done. One thing I must tell you, though, it's got nothing to do with anything. Fame doesn't put the food on the table. Just remember that.
Yeah.
In your life, when you get there, being famous means nothing in this country.
It's hard work.
Nothing. It's hard work.
Yeah.
And it doesn't put the food on the table. So
Yeah.
it's one thing to be famous, it's another thing to earn money and
Hard
work
work.
hard.
Yeah.
And then, Tembi, what would you like viewers to take away from this forum and this discussion that we had today?
Well, I know maybe most viewers will be young, be viewers that want to be part of this space and one day become, Masasa and be on Scandal, Rhythm City, and it's just the understanding that it's not about fame. It's not as glamorous.
It's not as glamorous.
It's not how it looks like. We're talking about the dresses that we wear for red carpets. We borrow those dresses, and when we're done with the dress, it has to go back. Imagine having.
Spoiler alert!
Yes, I like spoiling movies.
Shocker!
We take them back.
And you can't eat red velvet cupcakes for
No,
at least 2
baby.
months.
Know that.
Down to food with me.
With us, Tash, that's why I love you.
Know that it takes hard work. You need to be present.
Yeah.
I'm a student. I'm learning, and people always ask, "How do you do it, Tembi?" It's because I've decided long time ago that I'll be forever learning. I have an open heart. I'm still learning, And for me, being here, it's a blessing. I've learned so much, I like just asking questions and just, for me, I'm learning. I'm just, as much as I can. I've had conversations with 3 ladies, and I'm gonna just walk out of here. Cape Town will be like so amazing for me. It's like I've learned something, I've taken something from somebody. And that's where the relevance comes from. Because you don't close yourself up and you don't say, I got this. You say, my heart is open, teach me.
Yeah,
Well
still
said.
learning.
Yeah.
I'm 62, but I'm still learning.
Yes.
A hot 62-year-old.
Yes.
Tell me where you find a 62-year-old this sexy.
No, but I'm still
Did you see
learning.
what happened downstairs at the reception? Just people came out and they were just like, oh my word,
At this party.
admiring. I don't know if you noticed, but
I
you
do, but
are
I basically
beautiful,
very-
and just being around you,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
And Shani was also saying, because I mean, I worked with her in a Gordy,
Yeah.
And I mean, it was a reunion
Yeah.
today.
Yeah,
I
it
haven't
was
seen
the
her in so
same
long.
thing.
Her energy hasn't changed. And she said, you might moan about work and but you know what it is like. It's our passion.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you mentioned like,
And for all the dark and the gloom that we've said, there is a realistic side. You need to look at that moment where you do the scene and you
and then
And you rock
and
up
then
every day.
something awful.
You rock up, yeah.
and then you realize you are capable.
Yeah.
You said that earlier.
Yes.
You got
It's like, I'm just going to give you an example. In the beginning of the year, I'm doing Broken Vows, and I'm also doing Play Philosophy
yeah.
after 30 years again. It was the most difficult. I never thought I was going to see the daylight. I filmed during the day. At night, they pick me up for rehearsals for Fila. I get home 12 o'clock, and I must learn my lines for tomorrow in Broken Vows. Like, I made it.
Yeah.
I made it because I had to do it. And it's fun, and it's, like I say, you bitch and you moan.
Yeah, it's the
You go
thought
back
that makes
tomorrow
you
and you do it
tired, but
again.
once you're there, you deliver, you
Yeah,
perform,
yeah.
it's done. And then you wake up, it's like, I did it. I don't know what you said
It's a
earlier,
dream of passion,
Yes.
isn't it?
And you
Yes.
give energy to it, and it gives you energy back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
wonderful. Sort
It's
of
beautiful.
relationship.
Yeah.
And then Masasa, lastly, what would you like young girls to take away from what's been said today?
I'd like young girls to take away from today. As you've noticed, I repeat questions because I'm trying to buy time. Because my head is going, what are you going to say, Bangini? I'm watching. There's always this little observer in your head where it's just like, look at you fronting for the people at Channel 24. When deep inside you're shaking. And I wish people were honest. I wish people were authentic about things like that. So I hope that if anything, people take away the fact that, Sheryl Sandberg, I think I'm pronouncing her surname right, she wrote the book Lean In, and she's talking about this imposter syndrome, about, you feel like in a room, oh, you're a supreme woman, what does it mean to be a supreme? And I'm sitting here going, what? I just want food. Is that supreme woman enough? That every day I wake up going, oh, I love food, But I hope that young girls take away that it's okay to be authentic, and it's okay to sometimes go, maybe I don't know, and maybe if I slip down this rabbit hole and I see where it takes me. Leaving Scandal was probably one of the scariest things I've ever done in my entire life. It has also been one of the most exciting things that I've done in my life, because I was watching a clip on Instagram about Will Smith talking about skydiving, and I've done that. But I did it in tandem with someone. And he spoke about this idea of you jumping, and they never tell you, they'll count 1, 2, 3, and they'll jump on 2, but you're expecting 3. And when you jump for those, and people who have skydive, there's those seconds where you free fall and you're like, I'm going to die. There's no way that I'm going to live through this. And after those few seconds, you open your eyes and you look, and it's peaceful and there's absolute bliss. And I saw that video, and because I had that experience, I thought, yeah, that's what life has been for me. It's jumping, whether you believe in God or the universe, knowing that I'm not jumping on my own or your ancestors, and just enjoying the ride and being truthful when I make a mistake and going, ouch, that meant 4 months of not working, but geez, look what came back in there in choice. So just, I hope young girls take that, enjoy life, just jump, be as truthful as possible, show up, be brave, and eat. Eat your food. Love your food.
Well,
Unfortunately, that's all the time that we have today.
But it was such a pleasure to have you ladies with us today, and I think
Empowering women is just a wonderful thing to see.
And to everybody watching, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed this interview today.
Us
And
too. We all
until
enjoyed
next
Oh, no, we took it to them. Oh, we enjoyed too.
it. We loved it.